Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Nick's Handpicked Guitars. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of diving into the story and doing detective work on who might have owned or played a vintage guitar, today I want to show you a 1967 Gibson J-45 that had a little bit of a different mystery. One where it didn't have a voice. I'm going to tell you the whole story about this J-45, how we found it, how we got it back to playing condition, and most importantly, how we heard that voice for the first time. So stick around. You're definitely going to want to hear this guitar. It sounds amazing, and it's really incredible when the mystery comes out of what does it sound like, and oh my gosh, now we can hear it. Let's dive into this 1967 Gibson J-45. Back to about a year and a half ago when I obtained this guitar. I found it locally on a Craigslist ad. I like to look for Craigslist ads all across the country, a little bit of a cheat code when you're doing a guitar safari, trying to find really cool vintage gear and stuff that you can work with to maybe do exactly this, find a guitar that needs some love to bring its voice back. I got connected with a gentleman down in Alabama who had this guitar along with a good collection of other vintage guitars, and come to find out, this guy was actually a musician. Dee White. Now, Dee is an amazing country western singer and guitar player. He's a great player, in my opinion, an even better singer, and he's an incredible musician. You could check him out, find him all over the internet, listen to his music. Dee White is his name, and above all else, it really started a connection. You know, the coolest thing about the guitar world is that no matter who you are, where you come from, it allows for humans to connect over the guitar. So Dee and I, now to this day, are buddies. But go listen to Dee's music. He's amazing. And not even to promote him from a standpoint of being friends. Dee is just an amazing guy. And he's an incredible talent. So I got connected with Dee. We worked a situation to get together and talk over this guitar. Now, this is one immediately that when I looked at it, it was apparent to me that it was just missing its voice. Yes, it's from 67, so it's older. Missing strings, a couple cracks in the body. There's a trick you could do with acoustic guitars when you're hunting them out and checking them out, right? Where if you actually tap on the body itself, because that is a hollow box, it should reverberate. There should be some sort of vibration, and you should hear a boom, 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 like a drum almost. So when picking this one up, hitting it, dead, right? Has that dud sound, and it tells us a couple things. It tells us that the guitar needs some love. Now, that's not a problem. In fact, that's actually a challenge that I encourage and welcome, because there's nothing cooler than giving a guitar its voice back. And I knew if I could hear this thing for the first time, I had a feeling I'd be pretty impressed. So that gave us about a year and a half to, when I obtained this guitar, working with our master tech here in-house at NHP, Jordan, and really getting this guitar dialed to be something to go on stage. So we went through and we dove in on completely restoring this guitar. Now, when it comes to restoring a guitar, what I mean by that is I want it to be fully functional and playable for the tool that it's supposed to be above all else. These vintage guitars have nicks, dings, breaks, cracks. The wood is worn in. That is the coolest thing in the world to me about these guitars. So above all else, it wasn't about making this J-45 back to factory condition. It was back to making it a tool to where anybody, whether they're in their living room or, a professional musician playing on stage or in the studio, can fully use this guitar as a tool. So we did just that. The body itself had a couple cracks in it. We had to go through and reseal cracks. We had to reseal and restructure a couple braces, make sure that all those internally are not wobbling and secured. There was a hole in the side of the body. It seemed like for an old input jack, so that hole was filled. The neck was straight on this guitar. In these vintage acoustic guitars, older acoustic guitars, it's very, very common that they'll need a neck reset. Meaning over time, where the neck of the guitar goes into the body itself will actually start to drop just based over pressure and wood moving over decades. This guitar didn't need that though. That gave us more or less the green light to bring its voice back. We refretted it on top of that. We also installed an acoustic pickup to play it professionally. And then we gave it a brand new Gibson hardshell case just to complete the look and to protect the thing that we've, frankly brought back to life. Jordan did an absolutely phenomenal job. The first time I picked up this guitar and heard it again, it blew my mind. It's hard not to have a smile on your face when you hear a guitar that, maybe hasn't had its voice for, who knows, decades. Let's see what this guitar sounds like. I think you're really going to be impressed with this 1967 Gibson J-45. I like to think about, if a guitar was a human, and you might be a beautiful singer, you might have a beautiful voice, but with age, we literally start losing our ability to sing at the same level. Well, how cool is it of a guitar that they want to sing for you, and we can redo them, restore them, re-put all new stuff, bring them back to life in 2026, decades later, and hear that brand new voice again, just like it's 1967 out of the factory. It's the coolest thing in the world to me. I just want to note how that is something that we can accomplish here at NHP, not just for ourselves, but for you. If you have an old guitar that's been sitting in a basement, maybe it's your parents', maybe it's your grandparents', maybe it's yours. Regardless, if there's an old guitar that hasn't had strings on it, maybe just needs some love to get its voice back, we would love to help you out. We can do that both over state and right here in St. Louis, Missouri. So above all else, it's really cool when we have a hand in bringing our guitar back, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of what we're able to do here at NHP, and more importantly, another aspect of vintage guitars that I think is really cool. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to us. It's free and you can change your mind at any time, and it really, really helps us as we do this journey of telling the stories of vintage guitars, the people they impacted, and most importantly, building community around a guitar shop right here in St. Louis. So stay tuned. We have a lot of things coming in 2026, and I'm really, really glad that you're here. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.